Bro, what the fuck?
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love the lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the suds is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say none, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle love without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. Now I don't let it top, but shorty always get the fussy. Yeah, hey, I like the cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on them. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on them. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on them. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end. Yeah, to the nice end. Yeah, to the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, I love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Silver Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the web going. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe zooming, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe zooming, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side. I remember.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Ride the Tide Sports Podcast Season 2, Episode 27. We're just going to call this the Draft Special because most of the pod is covering the 2022 NFL Draft. But I'm McDilly. Above me is Tycho. Top corner over there is Snoop Luke. And then right next to me, we got the Wanderer. Boys, how are we doing today?
We're doing good, Dylan. The NFL draft is currently going on right now, and we have a lot to cover from rounds 1 through 3 as the current final day of the NFL draft takes place right as we speak. But with that being said, we have a lot to get into today, so we should just dive right into it. Starting with the Puck Luck Picks results. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, the Puck Luck Picks are over. Final records are shown below, and the winner was Snoop Luke for the Puck Luck Picks. Congrats to Snoop Luke on this one.
Luke won in week 2.
He did.
Yes,
He
I
did.
did.
But the final records, 83-59 with a 58% win percentage. Tyco 77-62, 54.1. McDilly 77-68 with 53.1, and the Wanderer 53-45 with 48.8%.
Up for a killer season 2 of Puck Luck Picks.
Is that going from the bottom to the top?
Part of the plan.
Hey, all you got to do is be 500 at least, and you're better already. So
Part of the plan.
you know,
Part of the plan.
yeah, you're set. You're set there. But with that being said, the NHL playoffs begin on Monday, and the boys have devised their own brackets. None of us, I think, have the same champion. But with that being said, let's talk about these brackets. So, would anyone like to volunteer here to go first on their bracket? Jesse?
We should go in the order of Puck Luck Picks, loser to winner.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
So Jesse wants to go first.
Jesse, you go first here. Your bracket.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
That's what.
Mine's simple. You just got to use here.
We'll get to it.
Think a little. So, we have simple hash marks next to winners. We're going to have the Flames taking that round 1. Oilers taking that round 1. Taking that round 1. Abby's taking that round 1.
No way. We
Then?
do have the same winner.
Damn. That means they're not winning. Panthers have a hash next to them. Leafs have a hash. That's a winner. Rangers, winner. Canes, winner. Canes winning it all. But they will have to play the Panthers to get there after the Panthers beat the Leafs.
Wait a minute.
To get there by beating the Wild and then beating the Flames, who beat the Oilers.
Wait, who's your final four?
My final four is shit. I forgot a hash. Damn, I'm a douche.
I knew you should. Didn't make sense.
No, it's because I forgot to put one for the Flames.
So your final four is Canes, Avs,
Flames,
okay.
Panthers.
All right. You're gonna be mad, but we have the same finals.
All right, so that's what Jesse's bracket's looking like for the playoffs. Dylan,
I'm feeling
your
very
picks here.
similar. I'm feeling very similar to Jesse. But the one thing that I do think for some reason is going to happen is I think this is going to be the year where the Oilers and the Avs are going to be good, and they're going to continue to be good the whole playoffs. And they're finally going to get that fucking Final Four, and everyone's going to see the matchup that I've now been waiting to see for 2 years. And then over on the other side, the only big noticeable thing that I have is the two Florida teams going off, Tampa Bay and Panthers. And I think Panthers are going to be the one to take them down. Canes, Panthers in the finals, just like Jesse. I have the Canes winning that bitch. Canes and Avs in the finals. I have the Canes winning that bitch.
All right. Okay, Dylan. Thank you very much for that. Next up, we got myself. Also, Zach Fuller is extremely triggered.
He triggered.
Oh, he's not triggered yet.
Extremely triggered. But next up, we got my bracket. So here we go. I got the Bruins taking down the Hurricanes. The Rangers take down the Penguins. And the Leafs win their first playoff series in God knows how fucking long against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And then the Panthers defeat the Capitals in round 1. Then on the other side, the Stars defeat the Flames. The Oilers defeat the Kings. The Wild beat the Blues. And the Avs defeat the Predators. I love you, Nashville, but not against the Avs. And then going back to the other side, I got the Rangers taking down the Bruins and the Panthers defeating the Maple Leafs. One series is enough for them to be satisfied, believe me. Then we got the Panthers beating the Rangers in the conference championship to advance to the Stanley Cup, where they will play the Wild, who defeat the Avs, and also the Stars, who defeat the Oilers. So then I have the Panthers and the Wild in the finals, and I have the Wild losing to the Panthers, and the Panthers winning the Stanley Cup this year. Luke,
All
you're up.
right.
Last bracket, here we go.
Let's kick it off with the first of the Hurricanes and the Bruins. I got the Hurricanes taking that one. And I'm sorry, this is not the Bruins of the old. Then I got the Rangers taking it over the Penguins. Now, this is going to be a great fucking series right here. Then I got Tampa over the Leafs. Because, Leafs fucking break down in the fucking playoffs. It's just that simple. And Tampa surges. And the Leafs are not stopping the Florida matchup in the second round because I have the Panthers beating the Caps to move on. Then moving on across, I got the Stars beating the Flames. And I got Oilers over the Kings. Because I think they're going to finally push past the point where they're going to get to past the first round. But they're going to be in so much joy that they're not going to be able to get past the Stars and they're going to get stunned. But we got the Wild beating the Blues. This one I had the hardest time picking because my body is telling me the Blues. But I've been advocating for the Wild all season long, and I have to pick the Wild. That's the biggest one I'm iffy on. But we have the Avs taking down the Preds, and then we have the Avs just overcoming the second round and pushing past the Wild, because what do the Wild do? I'm sorry, Zach, but the Wild choke after the first round. They surge. They play great hockey. They play unreal hockey. They look like a championship team in the first round. They move on to the second round and they fall asleep. I don't trust
You
it.
are pushing all his buttons, man.
Give me the Avs.
Jeez. Yeah,
And I already said I have the Stars over the Oilers, so we're going to move on to the other side with the Hurricanes taking down the Rangers. I love my Rangers, but unfortunately the Canes are surging pretty fucking well this year, and I think they might make a deep push. But after this round, that's the furthest round they get, because they're going to be taken down by the Tampa Bay Lightning for the Lightning to move on to the finals. And the Avs are going to be surging hard past the Wild to move on past the Stars to go to the finals, but only to get stunned by Tampa Bay for Tampa Bay to win it all.
Wow, I'm sure you guys were all so surprised that he was going to take the Lightning to possibly win the whole thing. We will all laugh when Tampa loses, and he will have to wear a Minnesota jersey, and it will be on the pod, and it will be fantastic after everything that he just said about that team.
Don't worry, I'll be laughing at you after the second round exit from the Wild.
Oh,
Luke
and
wants
he
to smoke
claps
today.
back.
Okay.
He clapped back. Well, if this guy has anything to say about it, they won't be making it past round one. So we'll see if he can score more goals like Steven Stamkos predicted in the playoffs and take down the Lightning. I wonder if Steven Stamkos predicted that too. But next up, we have some draft talk to get into. So we'll start it with, I guess the very beginning, right? Let's start from the beginning.
Go in order.
The number one overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Jaguars selected Trayvon Walker at number one. Reactions to the number one overall pick. How do we feel, boys? I mean, did we expect them to take Aiden Hutchinson? Did we believe Vegas? Vegas was right. They had him at minus 300 odds to go number one.
I will start off by saying that I like it, and I think that a lot of people could go on to say that they missed out on Aiden Hutchinson or this and that, but the Jaguars are building something different right now. This is still a great defensive end. This is still someone that just was on arguably one of the best college defenses we've ever seen. So I think that it was a great first pick, and you can make your arguments everywhere because it's still the Jaguars. But from the offseason moves to the way that they drafted this year, I'm actually really happy with how the Jaguars did.
Definitely. Luke, Jesse?
Well, you see what I was saying when I was muted.
I didn't even know.
Yeah. Vegas knows people buy the fast, quick hype really quick. They know people buy heavy into it. They're like, oh, wow, shit. A lot of hype sparked about this guy. So they marked him up, and they were right. I'm not surprised by the pick.
No.
Jesse, Trayvon Walker going number one. Did you see this one coming?
You know, I saw it coming after so much had happened with Aiden Hutchinson and the Lions in Detroit. But, before that, I didn't see it coming. But Jacksonville, I guess they wanted to put somebody next to Allen instead of, across from Allen to add double pressure inside and more of a run stopping. So it'll work out for him, but it surprised me.
Definitely. And at the number two overall pick, the Lions did pick up Aiden Hutchinson from the University of Michigan. I know, Luke, you're ecstatic about this pick for sure. Aiden Hutchinson continues to stay in Michigan. And with the number 12 overall pick, the Lions moved up, trading their number 32 and number 34 picks to acquire the number 12 pick. I'm just going to stay on the Lions because why?
Okay,
why not?
I got worried.
Just stay on the team. Stay on the teams. Yeah, we're jumping because we're staying on the team here. The Lions trade up and acquire Williams, the wide receiver from Alabama. In my opinion, the best wide receiver in the draft. So if you ask me, the Lions got the best defensive end and the best wide receiver, like ready to go right now in the draft. So I'm satisfied.
I wouldn't say
boys.
ready to
How
go
do you
right
feel
now.
though?
They wouldn't say ready to go right now. Let's not forget he just tore his ACL.
Well, when he's back, like he's here, and every other wide receiver is below him. Like
Williams
in
said
talent wise,
he'll be fine by training camp. That's what he feels.
Yeah. He said he should be running by the draft, so he should be running like this week, next week, like he'll be running again. So he'll be fine. I'm not.
I do agree.
How do you guys feel about the picks though?
Top 3 receiver in the draft. I think that he is an absolute force. I think that no one in this draft can probably create better separation than him on the field. And that's the biggest thing. He's probably going to be our now wide receiver 1 right next to Amon-Ra. And I love it, to be completely honest with you.
The disrespect to Chark is crazy, but Jesse, how do you feel?
It's not that crazy.
Well, he's not
what
just going to
Amon-Ra
slide
did
in wide
last year,
receiver 1. I feel like
Amon-Ra's
he'll
gonna
slide
have
in
a
wide
good
receiver
season.
2 or 3 off the rip. We'll see. Jared Goff's throwing the ball.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't think Williams will be wide receiver 1 just because of how Jared Goff throws the ball. I believe it'll still be Amon, especially with Williams will simply attract attention along with Chark attracting attention. So your slot guy is probably going to get the most action. So I don't think he'll be number 1, but I like it. I like both our pickups. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't a fan of Hutchinson. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar. I hope he makes me eat my words. That's what I'm hoping for. I wanted Tibb to keep it honest, but the swing up to 12 really threw me off. So I was really happy about that.
Yeah, if anything, we thought we were going to trade away a pick, and we ended up trading to get a pick better. So, fuck yeah, Brad Holmes.
BDM.
Luke,
how you feeling about these pickup by the Detroit Lions?
You know, it excites me because, I might want to go watch some Lions games now. Might want to go get a Lions jersey now.
you wanted to go watch him last year just for the wrong reason.
Well, don't get a jersey. Slow down. Don't get a jersey.
Oh, I already got my eyes on one specific one.
Oh, no. No. He's going to get the Hutch jersey if everybody knows it. Oh, God. All right. Well, the Lions, they haven't really disappointed so far. Picking up a safety and another defensive lineman with the other 2 picks so far. Been pretty good. Can't complain. Moving on, number 3. The Texans did not learn anything from the Detroit Lions, and they have taken a cornerback at the number 3 overall pick in the draft, and that is Stingley Jr.
I think Stingley's going to be good.
Is it okay to take cornerback number 3 here, or should they have waited?
It's okay to take a cornerback at number 3.
I think it is too.
End of the stick.
Not everyone's Okuda.
I guess, but Okuda is like the reason why you traditionally don't do that. So hopefully it works out better for them. But Stingley Jr. to the Texans is wild.
The only question that I would ask is, I guess I'll probably just start with Jesse. Would you take him over Sauce at 3? Because we know where Sauce went. He went right after.
I think okay. Gardner is bigger, taller, but Stingley, if I'm incorrect, somebody tell me.
Okay.
He played more competition.
Correct.
So, the plays he was able to make against the higher competitive teams in Cincinnati played, I think validated for him.
Hey, Stingley 2 years ago when he was with Burrow, fucking went to a championship. So he's played, like you just said, the highest caliber of college football.
And that was his best year there. That's
Correct.
the slightly concerning thing, in my opinion, is that his best year was 2 years ago, and he's not been as good since. Exactly. So
he didn't play that much last year.
Now he's got injuries to worry about. That doesn't help at all.
It was one injury, then he kind of sat out a while.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not reoccurring. but you never know.
Yeah.
Like Dylan said, Sauce Gardner was the next one to go, and Sauce went to the New York Jets.
This is part 1 of 4, as you will be hearing about throughout the draft, of how the Jets won the fucking draft. Great pickup.
Well, why don't you just tell them about the Jets picks?
All right, you want to just go in order with the Jets now because we did the Lions? I'll do that. So the next pick that I want to talk about from the Jets is no. Sorry. They got Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, who is probably top 5, I'd say, in the draft. He had the most potential talked about, I'd say. Him and Drake London were the 2 people that were getting the most recognition, in my opinion. And I think that this is a great pickup for them. I think that their receiving core, obviously, they wanted Debo. They're not going to get Debo, but this is still a great man to put in that position. And then on top of that, with the 26th pick in round 1, they got lucky as hell, and somehow Jermaine Johnson was still on the board, and that boy fell to them. Holy shit. I don't know how Jermaine was still on the board at 26, but he is a hell of a defensive end. I know he can play edge really well in Florida. I know that he's probably going to come into the league and be one of those people that if he can stop with the flags and just more technique-y, I know it's not a word, but focus on the technique more, he could be a great defensive end. And then
more of a technician.
Technician, thank you. That's the fucking word I was looking for. And then in round 2, they come in and take the first running back off the board with Breece Hall out of Iowa, who I would say is the best running back in the draft, as much as I want to be biased to Kenneth Walker. I mean, Breece Hall's an absolute beast. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4 players that I feel like the Jets won the draft, bro.
They're hoeing Michael Carter.
Yeah, they are, though, low-key.
They might. Nah, he's going to be – I forget if Breece is really like your throw-to back. Because they might be trying to use both of them, one power, one pass.
Right.
But
do you think they won the draft, Jesse? How do you feel about how they did?
I think they won the draft because they got so many top players out of the draft due to having 3 first rounds and then being able to sneak in the second round and pick up the best running back.
Yeah. Ty, you agree?
Well, honestly, man, I think this was a great pickup. I think the Jets are really stealing the draft. They are drafting extremely well, and I think that the Jets fans deserve it because they've been bad for so freaking long. I think it's about time, and I'm glad that the Jets are turning it around. A lot of bad teams had great opportunities this draft to turn things around, and so it's good to see that the bad teams, in my opinion, are drafting very well this year. And as long as everyone keeps drafting better than the Packers, I'm satisfied.
That's the main thing.
I feel that.
That is the main thing. Yeah, you know. And speaking of that, let's move to the other team in New York as the Giants draft well, in my opinion, as well. The first 2 picks, Giants took Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. So they went big, and these were 2 guys that I think Giants fans loved these first 2 picks, bulking up the offensive line and taking a powerhouse in Kayvon Thibodeau with extremely high potential and giving Kayvon Thibodeau the big market that he wanted with being in New York, where he can definitely build a brand there like Michael Strahan did, and I think that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. I think that this is a great pickup on both sides of the ball. I think Evan Neal is the second best offensive lineman in the draft. I think that Thibodeau is the second best defensive end in the draft. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't see how the Giants could have possibly fucked this up. They didn't, so I'm happy for them. The New York teams that have been shit for the past, 8-10 years? It's been a long time. I think this might be the first year where things start turning around. But that's just what I'm seeing right now. Still early, though.
Yeah, no, definitely. Round 1, Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. Round 2, Wendell Robinson, wide receiver from Kentucky with pick number 43. And with pick number 67, Joshua Azidu, guard from North Carolina. And they still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more picks in this draft. So definitely a lot more room still. I think some of these have already happened. I don't think this is updated exactly. But Giants drafting very well so far in this draft. Let's talk about the first wide receiver that was taken off the board. And he went to Atlanta, and that is Drake London.
Here's where I get
How do we
picked.
feel about this pick
All right.
for Atlanta? Finally,
don't-
Cordell Patterson's not the wide receiver.
Okay, so I don't like it. I get that he was the most talked about number. A lot of people have him as their number one wide receiver type shit in the draft. All right. His comparison is to Mike Williams. But let me tell you right now, Mike Williams is a very tall man. And he can create separation, and he can get the ball, catch it over people's head, all that good shit. Drake London cannot create separation. This man, all of his catches are the man's right on him, or they're tip catches, so they have to be like that because he cannot create separation. I know that he's big and tall, but every time it's always a contested catch, and I feel like that's not going to work in the NFL every single play, especially when you're going to have what we'll get into later, a first-year a quarterback. Jesse, how do you feel?
He shouldn't have been the first receiver taken, but I guess they want a deep ball threat for when Ridley gets back in a year. I don't know. But I forget. There's somebody else in the draft. I don't remember his name when he pops up. But separation issues is not what you want to see in college, because if they can't get separation in college, what are the odds they get separation in the NFL? But we'll see where it goes, Atlanta.
All right. You're muted.
I know. Next up, we got the Bengals draft picks. So, Jesse, how are we feeling about the Bengals so far? Round 1, number 31 overall. What's so funny?
We skipped so many picks and so much shit to go to the Bengals, so it just made me laugh.
Round 1, number 31 overall, Daxton Hill, safety from Michigan. Okay. Round 2, 60 overall, Cam Taylor-Britt, defensive back, North Carolina. Staying defensive here. And then round 3, number 95, Zachary Carter, defensive tackle from Florida. 3 defensive picks.
Well, we didn't apply pressure very quick all the time, except for like 2 guys getting in. So I like beefing the lineup. But that safety pick, our corners are a little whack. I'm going to keep it a buck. We can definitely tighten up with corners. But having Jesse Bates in the back and Hall in the back is definitely going to be a beautiful sight. And I'm happy for that.
No, I agree. I was pissed you guys took Daxton Hill, if you want me to be completely honest with you. I screamed shit at the TV.
Bro, the things that made us lose were deep balls.
I really didn't want
On
you
the
guys to
other side of Bates.
I was like, maybe they'll fuck up and take a lineman.
No, we did the right thing. I'm proud of the guys.
But now I see what Tyler's doing here. He wanted to do that so he could do this. All right, we got to talk about the Titans draft pick, but then we got to start with what happened before the Titans even made a goddamn draft pick. So, before the Titans had the 19th pick in the draft, there was a little piece of news that came out and said that A.J. Brown is no longer a Tennessee Titan, and he has been traded over to the Philadelphia Eagles for the 18th pick and the 101st overall pick. So, I just want to start off by saying devastation, frustration, and complete and utter sadness when this news hit. A.J. Brown has been he's our best character, I would say, in Tennessee. I would say that him and Derrick Henry draw the most eyes to the team. And it's a damn shame that this man only wanted $22 million and we offered him $20 million and couldn't get him $2 goddamn million more. It's a damn shame that Philly took advantage of that and that he was working out with Jalen Hurts last week. And it's a damn shame that I had to watch a FaceTime call of these two fucking giggling right after it happened. Talking about, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready to go. Shit made me so mad. And he got a 4-year deal and he's going to be there for a long time. And Tennessee, this is when they had me in the fucking dumps. I was in the gutter. I was at 0 out of 100. But then we started to climb. So we go to the first pick, okay? And we take wide receiver at number 19. Sorry, I always forget his first name. Treylon. There we go. Here you take wide receiver at number 19. Treylon Burks from Arkansas. I think, in my opinion, he was my top 3. One, I said my Jamison. I said my Burks. And then I think my number 3 was fuck. Oh, I fucked it up. Never mind. It's not important right now. But Treylon Burks is top 3 receiver in the draft. I think that he did really good at Arkansas. I know that the one main concern that a lot of people had is that there's not a lot of big teams or a lot of big defenses that he's had to go up against. But he's a big guy. He's got the biggest hands in the draft. He had to have custom gloves from Nike made just for how big his hands are. If that doesn't tell you that you should be able to catch a goddamn football because you're going to have the biggest hands in the league, I mean, it should help. That's the one thing I can say. So I was really happy that they did that. They came over. Then they went over and made a lineman pick. But here's when I go from 0 back to 100. So we're sitting here at round 3. Round 3, pick number 86 is on the board. Vegas is on the clock. Out of the corner of my eye, I don't care. Then you hear the do-do-do. There's a trade. Tennessee trades up. Immediately, the only thing in my head is, why would we trade up unless we're getting Malik? So we're watching the draft, head close, Tennessee Titans select Malik Willis, quarterback from Liberty. Yes! Yes! Tannehill, oh, you're on borrowed time, motherfucker. You are on borrowed time. I am so happy. Malik is probably going to get to sit and learn, and the second you start fucking up, we'll put him in. Oh, I get Malik. I get Derrick Henry. Hopefully this rookie wide receiver does well, and then I can be happy knowing that AJ is going to be happy over in Philly. Hopefully that Philly fucks up next year, because I still don't think Jalen Hurts is going to capitalize with them. But when it comes to Tennessee taking Malik Willis in this draft, I am nothing but happy, and I love it. Absolutely love it. I cannot believe this man fell to 86, and he is the steal of the goddamn draft because he fell to 86. But I want to know what you guys think about Malik going to Tennessee at 86.
I think it's Mariota part 2, honestly. I think that he's either going to be better than him and be what Mariota was supposed to be in Tennessee, or it will be exactly why Mariota did not succeed in Tennessee. And I think that it's a good pickup. I think that it's the right move here, especially with giving him a year or 2 to develop. And I think it's a good pick.
I like it for him. I think Malik Willis will – I don't know, because he's got the legs. We know he's a mobile quarterback. But at the end of the day, your mobility means nothing if you can't sling that. Like, if you're not slinging it and you can't put the ball everywhere it needs to be, your legs mean nothing.
I know he can sling it because he led all college football with touchdowns last year with 72.
I know.
Yeah, he was slinging it. So as long as he can be slinging it in the NFL, he will be okay.
Will he sling
When
it?
quarterbacks are being talked about, Kenny Pickett was the first quarterback taken in this year's draft, and he will be staying in Pittsburgh as he's headed across the street to go play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. How do we feel about Pickett playing in Pittsburgh? I mean, we saw him in college. Will he be just as good in the NFL? How do you feel?
I think he'll be just fine. I think he's
shit. I think he's Sam Darnold 2.0 with the last hand. I don't really think he's shit. I think he's going to go there. I think he might do okay for a year. I don't think he'll be anything special. I think that maybe year 3 will be his final year. Maybe I won't see him in the league after year 3. It's probably what I'm going to say right now. Like after year 3, I probably won't see Kenny Pickett.
Hold on. You need
to get bounced around. I don't think he's going to be a team.
Why?
You can say the disrespect. You can say this and that. But I'm just saying, from what I'm looking at him, I understand that the highlight reel is still out for Kenny Pickett, and it's still really good. I feel like he's going to be one of those quarterbacks that he's not going to transfer well into the NFL, and I don't think it's going to go well. That's just me. I know I stand alone on this take, but that's just me.
Now, I know you're probably going to have to stand alone on that pick because they went with round 2, 52nd overall, George Pickens, wide receiver from Georgia. So they automatically say, hey, we're going to give you a weapon first thing. You have Claypool there already. They did lose Juju, but this fills that spot right in with George Pickens from Georgia. And so the team will be younger and have, a year or two still that they need, they need to build a little bit more. And I think that Kenny Pickett, I think they're just going for the pick crew. Pickens, Pickett, come on. But I think they'll be good together once they have a couple years of playing on the same team. Carolina, on the other hand, took Matt Corral, the quarterback from Ole Miss. Can they hit on a quarterback finally, or what?
Him and CMC are both going to be on the IR week 4.
Well, come on. Give him a chance.
I know. I will say, if he stays healthy, he isn't, there's obviously worse.
And he's clearly not the starter.
Look at Sam Howell, for instance. But he's still on the he probably won't even get drafted. So there is worse in the draft. I think that he's one of those guys that he could boom or bust. He could have weeks where he does really good, almost like Sam Darnold in Carolina. He could have weeks where he does really well, and you're like, holy shit, watch Matt Corral. And I think he could have weeks where he throws a couple interceptions, and you're like, he's not that good. I think he's going to be really inconsistent year 1. I think he's going to be really boom or bust.
All right. Well, like I said earlier, the Eagles traded for A.J. Brown and have bulked up their team significantly in this year's draft. So let's talk just real quickly about the Eagles draft picks in 2022 so far, as I know they've been becoming problematic more and more over the years, and that's bad for us because Travis will become more problematic over the years. And we don't need that. But round 1, number 13 overall, they took one of my favorite players in this year's draft, Jordan Davis, defensive tackle from Georgia, just bulking up that defensive line and really making it hard for teams to run on them. And then number 56 overall, taking Cameron Jurgens, center from Nebraska. And at number 83 overall, another one of my favorite players. Granted, I found out about way more injuries than I thought he actually had until they announced the pick. But number 83 overall, Nakobe Dean, linebacker from Georgia, who has a lot of injury concerns. But other than that, it is what it is. But two of my favorite players, both from Georgia, were taken by the Eagles in this draft. And I think the Eagles are doing really good getting A.J. Brown, Jordan Davis, and Nakobe Dean so far this year in the draft. It looks pretty good.
I agree. I think the Eagles are actually looking better than they have in the past couple of years, but the one question mark is still going to remain on top of Jalen Hurts' head, and we'll see what he does this year.
I think Jalen Hurts is going to have the year that starts his good years this year.
We'll see.
I hope not. But I think Jesse's right. I think he is right. But next up, we have the Bills draft picks. Dylan, I know you're a big Bills guy. What have the Bills been doing to bulk up that team so far this year in the draft?
No, the Bills have not been doing anything too noticeably other than one pickup, but I will say it's been a lot of line. It's been a lot of defense. But there's one noticeable name because his brother's currently in the NFL, that being Dalvin Cook, and obviously James Cook, Georgia running back. He's a dog, don't get me wrong, just not one of those guys that his brother's in the league, and he's probably also kind of good at football. No, he's just as good, to be completely honest with you. He was taken the 63rd pick to the Bills, and I think this man's going to get a ring before his fucking brother is. Because
their other two picks, the 23 was a cornerback from Florida, and that's here Elam. And then round 2, they took the running back. And then round 3, they took Terrell Bernard, linebacker from Baylor. So they did not take any linemen. I don't know where you got that from.
They took a corner?
A cornerback, a linebacker, and a running back.
I thought that corner was a lineman.
Well,
but anyways, James Cook,
different
biggest piece of news coming out of James Cook is he was pissed. He was not happy. I don't know if he didn't want to go to Buffalo. I don't know if that he was happy that he wasn't with his brother. But they showed the family celebrating, and he said, "I'm not fucking happy, man. Calm the fuck down. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. This shit's not good." He was pissed. He was mad as fuck. I never seen someone so mad drafted in my life. So something's going on there where he was not very happy to come to Bills Mafia, or he was upset that he thought he was going to go to play with his brother. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. But he was pissed.
Well, that's tough.
Yeah.
I like the Bills' first pick, Elon, because I like him because he's 6'2".
I'm mad.
And he comes from a family lineage of DBs. So, he's got that high IQ with the way he played at Florida. And to have him on the other side of Tre'Davious White, Bills are trying to go all the way. They've got no close.
Why did we just take Hassan Haskins from Michigan, Tennessee? Foreman's gone. Haskins in the 2. Okay. Got no problem with that. Sorry, that's okay.
Okay, live update from Dylan. There you go. Dylan, I also saw this in the notes.
Yes. So we have to talk about this. So this is quite an interesting decision here from Bill Belichick. So the Patriots were on the clock in round 1, and they decided to take a projected 3rd round overall lineman, Cole Strange from Chattanooga. Nobody heard of this man. Nobody knew really this man was going to go in the 1st or maybe 2nd round. He was projected 3rd, but Bill saw something in him where he thinks he's going to be a great player. And then Bill probably said, "Why are you taking him? He's going to be great in a couple of years." Trust me. I said, "Okay, Bill, they took Cole." But we have to point this out because they took a projected 3rd rounder in the 1st round. And this is just a weird Patriots Bill Belichick type move, I feel like.
No, definitely. That's definitely a weird Bill Belichick type move. Obviously, they got to let him do what he thinks is best if they trust him. But I think that it's time to get a real general manager over there. I think Bill's starting to lose his mind.
Should we talk about never mind.
Strange is weird because this nigga's 6'5", 307 pounds. He played all 4 years at Chattanooga.
Yeah.
He made the All-Southern Conference team 4 times and a first-team selection.
He didn't play nobody.
But, A, he didn't play anybody. B, he's not the biggest, toughest lineman that was up. What the fuck is Bill thinking?
What?
Look, Bill's just losing his marbles a little bit, all right, boys? He's just losing his marbles a little bit. It is what it is. It happens.
Bill doesn't have enough marbles left.
Maybe he just wants to coach him up to be amazing. I don't know. But David Ajabo lands to the Baltimore Ravens.
We gotta go back before Ajabo. We gotta go back before Ajabo. Before they took Ajabo, Baltimore took at 14 Kyle Hamilton, safety from Notre Dame. And I think that Baltimore defensively yoinked their defense. They did really good in this draft class. They took Kyle Hamilton, who I think on the secondary end is going to be fantastic, and then David Ajabo, like you just mentioned, one of the best linebackers in the draft.
That defense is going to be scary.
And their D-line's
Baltimore's always known for their defense, so it only makes sense that the best defensive players play in Baltimore sometimes, It's just the way it's been for a long time, and that's the way it should be.
And then, because I think we passed it, do you want to talk about how the Saints traded 3 picks just to take Olave?
Go ahead.
Jesse, you want
bring it up.
Well, okay, so the Saints, they were on the clock, I believe, 5 picks later, and they felt the need to trade not 1, not 2, but 3 draft picks, 2 draft picks and a future for next year, so they could trade up and get Chris Olave, who they didn't think was still going to be on the board, which I'm telling you right now, he probably fucking was. So, Jesse, not more of why we take Chris Olave. Why do you think they needed to trade 3 picks to get him?
I don't know. Maybe they had some insider info and Olave was going to go. But I don't know why we picked that pick. What pick were the Titans first pick?
The Giants?
No, Titans.
Titans had the 19.
I would have rather had that. I would have rather had their receiver.
Right?
If you're going to trade up, I would have rather gotten him.
I agree. I'd rather have Bricks over Olave all day.
I don't know why they did Olave. Maybe we're blind. Maybe there's something we don't know. But shit.
Maybe sometimes mistakes are just made. But Kenneth Walker III went to the Seattle Seahawks. They definitely could have used another running back with Penny finally coming back from injury, but being injury prone. Kenneth Walker III definitely should be a great pickup for Seattle and should succeed there, in my opinion, as long as they keep bulking up that O-line a little bit.
2 thumbs up.
But with that being said, we are going to move on from the NFL draft. I know there are some players that we did not talk about, but I cannot talk about every single player that exists because I would be sitting here for 3 hours, and I do not want to do that.
That's the only one left, Ty. I swear it's the only one left on this entire list.
It's the only one left that you happen to care about, but not a lot of people give a fuck about Desmond Ridder. I'm not going to lie.
It's a big deal that they took him over Malik and Matt Corral, that they thought he was going to be that guy.
Who's they, Dylan?
Fucking Atlanta.
Well, there goes that Mariota one.
They're very okay with having Sim
Mariota's
quarterbacks.
like, what the
They had
hell?
Matt Ryan for a long time. Now they got Mariota.
I was about to go back in my
They got
pocket.
average quarterbacks. It doesn't matter. They have
Maybe
another
Ritter
average
will be
quarterback.
something. Maybe we're sleeping on him.
Maybe
I
they'll
am.
back up Mariota, and Mariota will go crazy.
Bring me in on a solo camp. Bring it in. Listen. Desmond Ridder is going to be the guy that makes Atlanta go, damn, we might actually be able to win something. And nobody might care. But when Atlanta's doing good, Ridder's doing good, we'll come back here. And someone will just care.
Okay. And somebody will care.
Somebody somewhere, they'll care.
Somebody somewhere might care, maybe one day.
And to sum it up, Georgia Bulldogs had 5 defensive players taken in the draft, and it is the most defensive players ever taken in the first round all time. Shout out Georgia for having one of the best defenses in all college football.
Yeah, shout out Georgia. And shout out to the New York Mets, who are being
Yes.
the only team that I know of that we're talking about in the MLB update today. Dylan,
Correct.
MLB update. What do we got?
There's one thing in the MLB update, and there's one thing only. It's a pretty big thing. It's a no-hitter. So the first no-hitter of the year has already happened. I'm just going to say right now, probably won't be the fucking last, especially if things go how they went last year. The Mets actually threw a combined no-hitter with 5 pitchers. Now, these 5 pitchers are absolutely the pitchers that you would not expect when you look at the Mets lineup. When you have Tyler McGill, when, he was the guy that was basically just subbed in because of injuries of Scherzer, and he got the opening day starter, and we were worried about him, but he was the man who started this thing off. It went Tyler McGill, Drew Smith, Joely Rodriguez, Seth Lugo, and then Edwin Diaz struck out the side in the 9th to get the complete game no-hitter. Cherry on top was it was against a Philly team. We love to see that. And all around, good shit for the Mets, not good shit for the Phillies.
I'm not a fan. It wasn't one pitcher. God damn it.
Why don't you like the combined no-hitter?
Baseball is a team
What's wrong
sport
with that?
sometimes.
Cause I feel bad for the guy. Maybe he wanted to go be like, hey, this is my no-hitter.
Maybe he had 100 pitches in the 6th inning, and you can't do that.
And he's like, hey, I could throw 100 more. I have a no-hitter.
Hey, well, obviously they weren't letting him go any longer than he already went. So, with that being said, like we said, that's all the MLB that we had. So, there you go. NBA playoff update. Where do we stand? Here's where we stand. The 76ers eliminate the Raptors and move on to the next round. CP3 goes off to eliminate the Pelicans. Chris Paul shoots an outstanding 14 of 14 from the field as the Suns defeat the Pelicans 115 to 109 and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Also, the Grizzlies advance to face the Warriors in the next round, the matchup where me and Jesse become rivals in the apartment. Always a good time, believe me. And Bogdanovich blows it on an opportunity to win the game against the Mavericks. Absolutely blows it, and the Mavericks honestly deserve the series. So, how do we feel about any of these games, boys? Anything that stood out? Anything you guys need to get off your chest?
Four things. I just want to say four things.
Four things.
Just give me four. First thing, CP3, you have finally decided to not be a choke artist when it comes down to it. Proud of you, but you're still not going to get a ring.
Fuck you.
John Morant, I swear to God, if you play like the way you played in this series, you will get swept. You will not win a single game. You need to step up and stop putting so much on Bane and Brooks. That's just not going to be okay. If the 76ers don't get Joel back as quick as possible, they're already looking bad around. James Harden is a choke artist. Prove me wrong. Try, because he does not step up to the plate when it's necessary. And last but not least, Jazz are garbage. Jazz are a regular season ass team. They can't do shit in the playoffs. We saw this coming, especially against somebody like Luka and a team that cares. And then Brunson coming out of nowhere, balling out to get another contract next year with some money under it. But I'm not surprised. The Jazz, whack.
Look, I'll let you go because I know you got something to say.
Okay. Because I only got one thing to fucking say. Fucking the Timberwolves. What the fuck, man? I was cashing in hard, and that being the upset, that was going to be the one. And what do? They blow 3 big fucking leads to lose 3 games. They could have fucking won the series 4-1.
They have one player. Cat.
I don't care.
Mean it.
They're supposed to be a pack.
Anthony Edwards is the
Supposed
team.
to swarm. They're supposed to play to the end.
Yeah, it's not Cat. It's not D'Lo. It's Anthony.
Anthony Edwards had 151 points. No 20-year-old has ever dropped that many points in a series.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards.
That's just crazy that you can fucking blow 3 big leads. And you
I agree.
God damn it.
I was
looking good too because every time I looked at them, I was like, "Oh shit, they're up! It's looking
they
good."
had a 20-point lead. They had a 10-point lead the other night. They kept fucking it up.
I'd wake up the next morning and be like, "Huh?"
And that was their best opportunity to beat the Grizzlies because you had Ja at his like a 3 out of 10. So
yeah, he was
really
like
had a good
sleeping,
chance.
bro.
I'll just add to this on Jesse's point because we were talking about this last night. Josh got to get over his damn way. I don't know if he thinks that he has to be that guy or like we talked about. It may regular season. He could find any lane. He could create any opportunity because he felt like he didn't have to. He almost just
John Morant fully believes he's that nigga.
He has to be
he
all the time.
can get any layup he wants as long as he has the space to get to the rim.
Right, and that the problem is right now I feel like slow the fuck down.
He's cold.
Slow
the way Kobe shot, Ja drives.
And you can't drive on everyone, bro. Like you said last night,
he's taking
this is perfect. Once he starts utilizing, I'm gonna let you just say the Isaiah Thomas thing that you told me last night. That shit's perfect.
It was not Isaiah Thomas. It was Rajon Rondo.
Rondo, yes.
Hey, he needs to drive to be a distraction and just dish out to his shooters. 100%. If he gets his one-on-ones, take it. If he gets a nice 2-on-1, okay. But he should be driving every time, looking to get it to a shooter.
Yeah, and you'll have shooters because we talked about how good their 3-point line is. You'll have Jones on one side. You'll have Bane on the other side. You'll have fucking Clark on the other side. Like, you'll have people.
You never say Brooks like second.
I forgot Tyus. Oh, my God. I was trying to think of one more.
No, you didn't. You said Jones.
I was trying to think of one more, and then I couldn't. Wait. Dylan Brooks. I always disrespect him. You're damn right. I never say his name. You're completely right. I agree.
Brain.
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking it fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
Okay, Luke, what we got?
Well, we got some stuff because we got Jose Aldo calling out the fraudulent champ. And yes, Sterling.
Saw that.
Fuck that man.
I saw him call his ass out.
Never
on
call
Twitter.
him the fucking champ. He's the fraudulent champ.
He's a
And
bitch.
Jose Aldo is calling him out. He went off on like a 4-tweet little rant saying there's no doubt the fans want to see this fight. He says, "We are currently the 2 best bantamweights in the UFC." And I started laughing.
What the fuck?
I was like, you that's a joke, right?
Either one of that's true. Sorry.
You can be considered. He says currently, but even currently, I wouldn't even consider Sterling.
Man.
But then he starts taking shots at a couple other guys, clowns who faked his retirement just to raise his purse. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Henry says, you know.
I'll tell you what, and I think at the end of the day, that's still one of the smartest plays I've seen. I don't give a fuck, bro. You can call it what you want, but that shit was smart because now he's gonna get more fights. He's got more money. At the same time, when you win 3 titles, I mean, shit, you should be getting a bigger bag.
I mean, so far it hasn't really been working out.
Well, yeah, he hasn't fought in how long?
2 years.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, well, we got Patty Pimlet responding to the Logan Paul's call out when he said that he would want to fight him if he would fight anybody in the UFC. He said he know who the boy is. He know who will put bums in seats, lad. Because can't see him mentioning anyone else. I know he's a lot bigger than me, but I don't think it really matters, to be honest. I think I'd submit him quick, easily, and quite quickly. But you never know. Anything can happen in a fight.
I like it. I like that Patty's like, I'll fight him, but you never know what could happen.
Exactly.
Shit. He's making it sound like this shit's gonna happen. I kind of like it.
Right? Like, I'd watch it. I don't know.
I'd watch it. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like it, but like, I'd probably watch it just to see fucking Logan get smashed by Patty.
I agree.
But moving on to an update on the Masvidal and Covington situation. The judge has ordered Masvidal to stay away from Colby Covington. Now Masvidal cannot go within 25 feet of Colby.
He got a restraining order on his ass.
What a pussy.
He got a restraining order on his ass.
What a fucking pussy.
He said, stay away from me.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about your family.
Now,
Get you agitated to hit me. And now I'm gonna get a restraining. What a fucking pussy!
Oh, fuck that, bro. He said I'm gonna say whatever I want about your wife and kids, but you can't come near. Nah, you can't play that game. Talk shit, get hit.
But we got some new fights announced, and this is exciting in itself. Because first up, we got Kevin Holland versus Tim Means, and I'm excited to see Kevin Holland fight again.
It's been a minute.
Yes, it has.
It's been a minute.
But next up, we got Macy Barber and Jessica I.
Ooh, I haven't seen Jessica fight in a minute.
Right?
I like that.
I like that fight. I think I could sneak that one.
I'm gonna take I in that bitch.
I'm really thinking about taking I in that bitch.
I'll take Jessica in that fight.
But next up,
the big
fight that everybody's excited for now because it's just got announced. Cyril Gane is now fighting Tai Tuivasa September 3rd at UFC Fight Night.
And I hope that Ty knocks him the fuck out. I know Gon's going to try to make it a wrestling match, but I hope Ty doesn't let it happen.
I haven't seen Ty go up against a lot of wrestlers, so I don't know how his defense ultimately is.
That's true.
So if he can withstand it, oh man, I don't know, dude. It's so hard. Like, I want him to knock out Gane because I just hate Gane and how he fights.
Right.
I just hate it.
I also hate the way that you're the only one that calls him Gane.
Gone, yeah. It's like you with the fucking Kraken.
Dude,
Kraken.
I'll still say it wrong. I'll still say it wrong, dude.
You say Kraken, and I say Gane. Oh man, I'm gonna have to really think about this one because it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and I guess the last piece of news I have, but it's not really big. I thought it was bigger than it was, but turns out it's not. Rob Font couldn't cut the weight.
He did not make weight. Yes.
But the fight still happens. I believe he's just getting fined 20% of his purse.
Yeah, 20% of his fight purse. Yes, that's what it was.
See, I thought when that happens, they just cancel it. So I'm happy that it's still going on.
Well, they probably did at first, and they're like, well, fuck, we're having big issues trying to find replacements all the time doing this now. So let's just make it easier. You're fined.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And that is all we got for UFC, because we covered the fight night last week. Last pod.
That's all the news we have today.
Yes, the fellas in the room here are exactly right. That's all we got for you guys today. So thank you for listening to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast. Make sure you guys check it out on sixpackcoverage.com, where you can find all your podcast and entertainment needs and all the articles for sports, finance, fitness, everything, health, whatever it is that you're looking for. Get it on sixpackcoverage.com. Other than that, until next time, we will see you guys on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of the NFL draft. Have a great weekend and ride the tide, baby. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.